I'm joined here now with Caitlin Jardine, and she is a teacher at Bishop Lloyd School. Now, MusiCounts has donated $1 million worth of instruments and more to schools across Canada, including at Bishop Lloyd Middle School. So, could you give some background into the process of applying for this grant?
This process was actually pretty long. It was a pretty big application. It started with essentially describing the school and what we wanted from them, how much money, and then of course what we were going to use the funding for. So they were looking at what's the vision of the program, why do your students need it? And of course for our school that was pretty simple because we're so unique being, in Lloydminster, Saskatchewan and Alberta. There's so many things that we can talk about there.
So, what was your reaction when you found out that you did win this grant?
I was shocked. I remember falling off my chair, and I think it left a little bit of a bruise because I just was not expecting it. So I got a phone call in between my teaching, and they basically said, hey, these are the best phone calls that we ever get to make, and you got this much money. And we're really thrilled to start working with your school. So it was very exciting.
And what will the school be putting the money towards?
It is going to go towards a whole bunch of technology and MIDI instruments, so electronic keyboards, DJ pads. Essentially, what I was hearing from the students was we have an awesome program that's traditional band, but they wanted to expand that a little bit more. So reaching out to MusiCounts to get the funding, to get a program rolling was really exciting. And of course, the students were very behind the process.
And like you said, you have more programs for the more traditional instruments. So, what did it mean to you to maybe see you moving forward and introducing your students to new skills?
Sure. So music is embedded in the world around us in so many different ways. My students, they go out into the world and they're always listening to music on their iPads or their phones. And there is that underlying question, well, how do these people make the music that they do? So for them, it just seemed like a very natural fit to start integrating technology and how these artists that make music actually make them in the real world.
And how big of a difference will this make for current students at Bishop Lloyd and students to come?
I think it'll make quite a big difference because of course there's some students who love music, but playing an actual instrument is not their thing. So I'm hoping that by over time creating more and more opportunities for engaging in music making, it'll just invite other students in that might not always pick up a traditional wind instrument and say, hey, I love DJing or I love composing. Let's learn how that process works.
Thank you so much for your time today, Caitlin.
Beyond the Classroom is brought to you by Lakeland College, home to the most hands-on education in Canada. Apply today and graduate job ready.